So today we are going to start our supplementary text. See, in the supplementary I have taken you the lesson Anil, the thief's story, understood? And then the midnight visitor and a question of trust. These two lessons are being detected by the CBSE, understood? So 3 and 4 there is no need to study. Now we are coming to the fifth one. Now after second, fifth is the chapter we have to study, understood? So other two are neglected. Okay, now we come to the footprints without food. So how can it be without food? The prints can be there. Footprint means what? While we are walking, when we are taking the steps, what is happening? It is being printed over, isn't it? That the steps can be seen. So without food only we are walking, then only it is possible to see, isn't it? But here it is saying that without food, footprints are there, understood? So in this lesson we are going to study about a human being changing into invisible, visible and invisible. So human body as we are, it is visible to each and everybody, isn't it? So here a great scientist who had made experiments and he found out a new drug and he himself swallowed it. And why he made that experiments? Because he wanted to become invisible. Understood? He wanted to become invisible. So to become invisible, he had conducted many experiments and he had invented a new drug. And with the help of the new drug, he himself swallowed it and then he became invisible. So is that correct? As far as a scientist is concerned, can we say it is good? No, because the misuse of that invention, isn't it? He is misusing the invention or the drug what he had invented, isn't it? So it should be what the scientists are inventing, it should be beneficial for the human beings, isn't it? It should be good for the human beings. So here he wanted to become invisible. So in his invisible appearance, he is able to do many things that creates chaos or confusion in the society. Understood? So in that case, scientist, but he is an intelligent, very brilliant scientist. That is why he had made that drug which can make human beings invisible, isn't it? So he had made that, and in that invisible appearance, he went to many shops and he had fought with anybody, but he is not seen by the other human beings. Understood now? So now we will see what all things this great scientist or the brilliant scientist have done. We are coming to the lesson. Footprints without a foot. Can a man become invisible? So we cannot think about that, a man becoming invisible. Only the spirit, it is believed that the spirit of human beings, isn't it? This is the story of a scientist who discovers how to make himself visible. So now we will see how is that scientist becoming invisible, and in that invisible appearance, what all things he is creating in the society. How does the invisible man first become visible? Then why was he wandering the streets? Now we will see the answers for these two questions in the starting of the lesson. Okay, I will start. The two boys started in surprise at the fresh muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet. Bare means without chappals. Bare without chappals. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London, and where was the man? So they could see the footprint over there, isn't it? But they could not understand why it is there and who is the person behind it. Understood? Who is that man who had gone there? As they gazed means as they looked, a remarkable sight met their eyes. A fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. That means without any human beings, what had been seen? Footprint can be seen. Further footprints followed. So one after another, it was going further, descending the steps and progressing down the street. That is coming down from the steps and then moving to the street. So they could see the footprint, but they could not identify the person. Understood? They could not identify the person. They could see the footprint from step to one step to the other one, and then it is going straight to the road. The boys followed, fascinated. They are wondered what is happening until the muddy inspiration. Muddy means because that footprint was having that mud over it. It has been walked through the muddy area. Muddy means marshy, little wet. Further fainter and fainter, then coming less and lesser, and at last disappeared together. So for a little distance, they could see that a muddy footprint being going, and after that it is faded away. That means that they are not able to see it. The explanation of the mystery was really simple enough about this mystery, which cannot be seen, that hidden. The bewildered boys had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. Transparent means cannot be seen, isn't it? So these boys, they are now frightened also. Why they are frightened? Because they could not see the person who is making that footprint, and then finally they got the answer of their wonder, that it is been a scientist who had made himself invisible. Griffin. So who is the scientist? Yes, Griffin. So he is a brilliant scientist. Had carried out experiments after experiment to prove that the human body could become invisible. So he was conducting experiments. So one after another he was conducting experiment, and for what was he conducting? To find out a medicine to make a human body invisible. Understood? Finally he swallowed certain rare drugs. Rare means which are not common. And his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass, though it also remained as solid as a glass. So finally he had invented a new drug, a rare drug, not common. And then what did he do? He swallowed himself. He had taken that drug himself, and as a result, what happened to his body? It became transparent, as similar to a glass, but it was solid. Understood? Brilliant scientist though he was, so it is said that Griffin was a brilliant scientist, was rather a lawless person. Who is a lawless person? The one who doesn't obey the laws prevailing, isn't it? Lawless person. So when there are rules and regulations, and if we are not obeying them accordingly, we will be called as whom? Lawless person. So here also he is brilliant, he is good, and he is an experienced person to find out a new drug also, isn't it? But still, he do not obey any of the prevailing laws. That is why he is known as the lawless person. His landlord disliked him. Landlord, who is the landlord? The owner, and tried to eject him to remove him from there. In revenge means in anger, Griffin set fire to the house. To get away without being seen, he had to remove his clothes. So what did his landlord do? He wanted to remove him from his house. So what did the Griffin do? He got angry and he set fire to that house. And in order to run away from there, he had to remove all his clothes, isn't it? To make the other people think that he has been in the fire. Thus it was that he became a homeless wanderer. So from that time onwards, when the landlord had put him outside, from that time onwards, he had become a wanderer. Without clothes, without money, and quite invisible. So he had no house, money, and at the same time invisible. Clear to you now? Now clear to you? So now he has to get money, then no clothes also, because everything is being put over there when the house was set fire. So now he had to find clothes for himself, money also, and at the same time, how is he? Transparent as a glass. Nobody can see him until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. So only what is being seen, Griffin's whole body is not seen, but only the footprint of Griffin can be seen. He escaped easily enough from the boys who followed. So those boys were after him to find out who the person is. They had understood, isn't it? So now the boys were after him and now he had to escape from those boys. His footprints in London. But his adventures were by no means over. He was still in the finding out new things, how he can settle the many new things. He had chosen a bad time of the year to wander about London without clothes. It was the midwinter. So what was the season at that time? It was winter. So can anybody provide himself without clothes? No, isn't it? So he cannot stand in which season? Winter season. So now he is thinking without clothes it is not possible for him to stay where? In London, because the winter had come. The air was bitterly cold and he could not do without clothes. So it is very chilly and without clothes he cannot survive, isn't it? Instead of walking about the streets, he decided to slip into a big London store for walk. So now he had to find clothes for himself, isn't it? Because it is bitter cold outside. So outside he is not able to walk freely. Even though he is invisible, that cold, he is feeling that cold himself, isn't it? So now he wanted to find clothes. So what did he do? He entered to one of the London store. Closing time arrived. So the shop was now closing. And as soon as the doors were shut, Griffin was able to give himself the pleasure of clothing and feeding himself without regard to expense. So without payment, he had found the clothes and food in that shop. He broke open boxes and wrappers and fitted himself out with the warm clothes. So he started opening the clothes and taking out the clothes. Started opening the boxes where the clothes, warm clothes are there. He started taking for his own and he warmed himself. He warmed his body himself. Soon with his shoes and overcoat and a wide brimmed hat, all these he had collected from the shop. He became a fully dressed and visible person. So now he is being seen. When nobody is there, the shop is being closed. He got inside the shop through the window. He collected all the things what he needed. That is warm clothes, shoes and hat, everything he had collected from the shop. And now he is visible. That means because there is nobody, he himself had made himself visible. In the kitchen of the restaurant, he found cold meat and coffee. So for food also there was. And he followed up the meal with the sweets and wine taken from the grocery store. Finally, he settled down to sleep on a pile of quilts. Quilts means warm clothes. So after having sufficient food also, and now with the clothes he is okay, and now he got the food also, and with all that he is now comfortable and went to sleep. Understood? If only Griffin had managed to wake up in good time, all might have been well. As it was, he did not wake up until the assistants were already arriving next morning. So he went to sleep, and then before the people could arrive, what he has to do? He has to get up and move out, isn't it? But he felt asleep, and the next morning, who started coming? The assistants of the shop started coming. So what will happen? They will see the person inside, isn't it? When he saw a couple of the people of the store approaching, he panicked and began to run. So now he got frightened. Now he don't know what to do. They naturally gave chase. They ran after him to catch hold of him. In the end, he was able to escape only by quickly taking off his newly found clothes. So once more he found himself invisible but naked in the chill January air. So what now? Again what did he do? Second time also. First time when did he remove all his clothes and ran away? When the landlord had put him out of his house, he got angry. He set fire and he removed all the clothes there and he ran out in the road, isn't it? Now the second time in the shop also, he was not able to get up early in the morning and he was fast asleep, and by the time who had reached over there, the assistants of the shop had reached over there and they found him there. They started running after him. So what did again he do? Once again he wanted to throw away all his clothes there and run out for escape. So again one more time he is becoming invisible in front of the people. Understood? So again he ran out in that cold. This time he decided to try the stock of a theatrical company in the hope of finding not only clothes but also something that would hide the empty space above his shoulders. Shivering with the cold, he hurried to Drury Lane, the center of theatre world. Once again, he wanted to cover his body with the clothes, isn't it? So he has to find the clothes again. Again he went to the other place. He soon found a suitable shop. He made his way invisible upstairs and came out a little later wearing bandages around his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, big bushy side whiskers and a large hat. Again he got to the other shop, took the clothes and many other materials, whatever he needed, covered himself and he came out. To escape without being seen, he carelessly attacked the shopkeeper from behind, after which he robbed him of all the money he could find. So from there, not only the clothes and materials he collected, but what did he do? He pulled down the manager of the shop and collected the money also and went out. So now you understood how he becoming invisible and at the same time visible also. When he is coming visible, when he wanted something, isn't it? So whenever he needs something for himself, he becomes visible, and at the same time, in order to escape from the people, he becomes invisible. Understood now? Now again, eager to get away from crowded London, he took a train to the village of Iping. Where he booked 2 rooms at a local inn. Inn means the place, building which is kept for the travellers to take shelter while on their travel. Isn't it? In Malayalam we say Satram. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter was in any case an unusual event. So that inn people, they thought in this winter season nobody will be out of their home, isn't it? All will be inside because it is too cold outside. So in order to provide themselves, nobody will be roaming about. So the inn people got a doubt on whom? Griffin, because in that bitter cold, why he had to stay in an inn. A stranger of such uncommon appearance set all tongues wagging. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made many efforts to be friendly, but Griffin had no desire to talk and told her, "My reason for coming to Iping is a desire for solitude." Solitude means to be lonely. Solitude, lonely. So the wife asked him why he is there, isn't it? So what was the answer given? He did not want to talk anything of his own. Whatever the people used to ask him, he used to suppress them, stop them talking about it. And when the lady asked why he is there, what was the answer given to him? Because he wanted to be alone. I do not wish to be disturbed in my work. Besides, an accident had affected my face because from the shop he had covered his face with a bandage, isn't it? So he said he had met with an accident. Satisfied that August was an eccentric scientist, and in view of the fact that he had paid her in advance, and they did not talk too much about, they did not find anything extraordinary in him because he had given money to them in advance. Mrs. Hall was prepared to excuse his stage habits and irritable temper. So she did not mean to say anything to him because she could understand it. But the stolen money did not last long. Which is stolen money that he had taken from the shop, isn't it? Pulling out the manager and taking out the money. Presently, so now from the other shop he had collected whatever things, materials also, and at the same time what he had to take, he had taken the money also. Satisfied with the, so she was being paid, so she did not want to know more about him. But the stolen money did not last long, and presently Griffin had to admit that he had no more ready cash. He pretended, however, that he was expecting a check to arrive at any moment. So made her believe that he is waiting for a check. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Another story started. Very early in the morning, a clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study, in their room. Creeping downstairs, they heard the clink of money being taken from the clergy's desk. So, in the early morning, they could hear the sound of something, isn't it? Awakened by noises. So, they came downstairs to see what was happening, and when they came, from the desk, all the money had been removed. Without making any noise and with a poker grasped firmly in his hand, clergyman flung open the door. Surrender. So the person said, clergy said to surrender. Then to his amazement, he realized that the room appeared to be empty. So he thought some robbers or thieves are there who had come over him and collected all his money. So he said to surrender him. And he searched for the person, but there was nobody. The room was empty. He and his wife looked under the desk, behind the curtains, and even up the chimney. They searched for the person everywhere. There wasn't a sign of anybody, but there was nobody. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was missing. So still they could not find anybody, but what has been taken away? Money had been taken away. Extraordinary affair. So they could not believe themselves. Kept saying for the rest of the day. But it was not an extraordinary as the behavior of Mrs. Hall's furniture a little later that morning. The landlord and his wife were up very early and were surprised to see the scientist door wide open. Usually it was shut and locked. So all the days it was shut and locked, but at the present day it was opened. And he was furious if anyone entered his room. Furious, becoming angry. The opportunity seemed too good to be missed. They peeped around the door. Peeped around means just were hiding and looking. Saw nobody and decided to investigate. So they just looked through the window, through the door to see the scientist is inside or not. But they could not find him. So in his absence, they decided to get inside the room and investigate. The bedclothes were cold, showing that the scientist must have been put up for some time. As strangers tell, the clothes and bandages that always were lying about the room. So all the materials, what he had covered his face with the bandages, isn't it? So all those things are now seen on the bed, and some of these clothes also are left over there. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a stiff noise close to her ear. A moment later, the hat on the bedpost leapt up. It started flying and dashed itself into her. It went up and came and dashed on her face. Dash means beat on her face. Then the bedroom chair became alive. Now the chair started moving. Springing into the air, it charged straight at her legs foremost. So it went up and then it came down. As she and her husband turned away in terror, they got frightened. The extraordinary chair pushed them both out of the room and then appeared to slam and lock the door after them. So the chair became alive. Alive means it became as if it is having life. And what it went and pushed them both outside, then closed the door and locked it. Understood? A strange experience, isn't it? Chair becoming live. Mrs. Hall almost fell down the stairs in hysteria. Hysterics means she could not understand what was happening to her. She was convinced that the room was haunted by spirits. So she thought inside the room there was some spirit, and that the stranger had somehow caused these to enter into her furniture. So she thought it is some spirit living over there. Understood? That made the furniture, the chair, to move from one place to another and push them outside. My poor mother used to sit in that chair, she moaned. She started crying and saying, my mother used to sit there. To think it should rise up against me now. So, sometimes it may come again once more towards me. The feeling among the neighbors was that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. So they thought some magic was there. Understood? Some spiritual magic was going on there. But witchcraft or not, when news of the burglary at the clergyman's home became known, the strange scientist was strongly suspected of having had a hand in it. So when that clergyman's desk was opened and the money was taken, now everybody could think that it is not of the spirit, but it is the hand of whom? Scientist Griffin. Suspicious grew even. So it was a doubt that it was nobody else. It was done all by whom only? The scientist. Suspicion grew even stronger when he suddenly produced some ready cash, though he had admitted not long before that he had no money, because he had given some money to Mrs. Hall also, because in the first time when he was there with the Mrs. Hall in the inn, he had given her in advance, isn't it, some money in advance. Then later he said he had no money in his hand, isn't it. So now again, very soon only he is giving the money again to Mrs. Hall. So that also made people doubt that he had hand in which robbery? Taking the money from clergyman. The village constable was secretly sent for. Now it was informed to the police. Instead of waiting for the constable, Mrs. Hall went to the scientist, who had somehow mysteriously appeared from his empty bedroom. So Mrs. Hall went inside to see the scientist. I want to know what you have been doing to my chair upstairs, she demanded. And I want to know how it is you come out of an empty room and how you entered a locked room. So putting them both outside, the door was closed and locked, isn't it? So now Mrs. Hall went and asked him, how did you get inside a room which has been locked, and how did you make that chair move from one place and kick us both outside? The scientist was always quick-tempered. He is getting angry. At any moment he could get anger. Now he became furious. He became very angry. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted. Very well, I will show you. So he became angry and said, okay, you can't understand me, I will show you what I am. Suddenly he threw off bandages, whiskers, spectacles and even nose. Everything he had taken out and thrown out. It took him only a minute to do this. The horrified people in the bar found themselves staring at a headless man. So when everything was taken out, all the coverings from his face had been taken out, it was a person without a head. A person of no head. A person of no head. Mr. Jaffer, the constable. So who is the constable? Mr. Jaffer. He is the constable being called. Now arrived and was quite surprised to find that he had to arrest a man without a head. So when the police had come, there was a man but he had no head. Understood? He had no head. So now how can a constable arrest a person with no head? But Jafar was not easily prevented from doing his duty. If a magistrate warrant ordered a person's arrest, then that person has to be arrested with or without his head. But the constable Jafar is saying that if the duty is been assigned to him by the magistrate to take a person to bring the person in front of the magistrate, he has to do his duty, whether the person is having head or not. Understood? That means Mr. Jafar has to do his duty. What is his duty? To arrest the scientist. Now he is without a head. There followed a remarkable scene as the policeman tried to get hold of a man who was becoming more and more invisible as he threw off one garment after another. So finally, standing over there, taking out one by one his clothes and throwing it out. So no head is there, taking out the clothes and throwing out. Finally, a shirt flew into the air and the constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all. Then finally, who had caught hold of it? Constable. He was struggling. That means when police or when we are catching hold of another and another person is struggling to escape from us, that scene is shown over there, isn't it? So here constable is doing with somebody, but that person is not seen, not visible to anybody, but only the act can be seen. The constable catching hold of that person. Understood? But found himself hit by blows that seemed to come from nowhere. And he has been given the blows also, hitting him also, but at the same time, nobody is able to see the person with whom the constable is fighting for. Understood? In the end, Jafar was knocked unconscious as he made a last attempt to hold on to the unseen scientist. And finally, after a long time, who fell down unconscious? Jafar fell down unconscious. Up to then, he was fighting with the invisible figure. There were nervous, excited cries of "Hold him!" But this was easier said than done. Griffin had shaken himself free and no one knew where to lay hands on him. So then everybody started shouting, saying that hold him, catch hold of him. But nobody was able to catch hold of Griffin, isn't it? Because he had made himself invisible and nobody was able to catch hold of him. So by the time when everybody are trying to catch hold of him, he had gone out of the place without being seen to everybody. Understood? So he had done throughout the story, we can see that he had done many distractions and had broken the peace of the people of the society, isn't it? And finally, what had happened? He himself was saved from everything. That means he himself was saved means in his invisible attitude, invisible appearance, he had people run after him, isn't it? But they were not able to catch hold of him. Understood now? Griffin was rather a lawless person. So how we can say that he is a lawless person? Yes, he is a brilliant scientist and he himself had made experiments and found a new drug and he himself swallowed it. And what is the benefit of that? That he will become invisible, isn't it? So in that invisible appearance, he had done many things. First to the landlord, second to the clergy person, and then to the people of the society. Understood? How would you assess Griffin as a scientist? So as a scientist, he was not doing good for the people. He was misusing the invention what he had done. Understood? So the question answers will be sent to you. You read the text very carefully.